Hello everyone and welcome to this. It is us embarking upon the Dunwich Legacy campaign for Arkham Horror the card game. There's a video, I'll see if I can work out how to put a link, about my deck. I'm using Ashcan Pete. I'm familiar with the story, but I have no idea how this is going to play. I mean, I'm familiar with the novel. So I think this will be an opener where I set myself up. It might be just a really short thing, don't know. Give the prologue, and then we'll jump straight into the gameplay. Either as a bookmark, so if you don't want to hear me waffle, skip ahead, or it'll be a separate video completely. But here we go. Ashcan Pete is a drifter, he's got a dog. What more could you ask for? So this is a game for 1 to 4 players. I'm playing it true solo on my own, only using one character. See how it goes. Excuse my reading. Prologue. Dr. Henry Armitage pours himself a glass of Pinot and sits down at his desk, gesturing for you to sit across from him. I apologise for the short notice, he begins. His face is pale, his forehead sweaty and wrinkled with worry. Armitage, the head librarian of Miskatonic University and a former mentor of yours, privately contacted you in the hopes of gaining your assistance. Eager to help, you made your way to his home in Southside. Upon entering, you were surprised to find his home in disarray. Books and notes litter his desk, and an empty bottle of wine is tipped over onto the ground by the fireplace. You'd always known Armitage to be neat and well organised. The elderly man takes a moment to collect his thoughts. I'm looking for 2 of my colleagues, Dr. Francis Morgan, Professor of Archaeology, and Warren Rice, Professor of Languages. Warren was supposed to meet up with me over supper earlier today to discuss several important findings, but he's since gone missing. At first I thought nothing of it, but I have a nagging feeling something else is going on. A very familiar feeling. You've never seen Armitage quite this worried before. His hands tremble as he reaches for the glass on his desk, and he sips from it nervously. I tried to find Francis, hoping he knew where Warren was, but he too is out of touch. Francis has been spending a lot of time in some gambling den, or so I'm told. I sent for you because I'm worried Warren might be in trouble. I'd appreciate it greatly if you could find him for me. You may also wish to ask Francis for help, if you can reach him. So, the investigator must now decide. I have to choose one. So, I'm either going to go and look for Professor Rice or Dr. Morgan. Now, I'm clearly going to just pick the archaeologist. So, yeah. So, let's have a look. I have to... Dr. Francis Morgan was last seen gambling at the Clover Club, an upscale speakeasy and gambling joint located downtown. Let's go talk to him. So I have to proceed with scenario 1B. The house always wins if I wish to find Dr. Francis Morgan first. So I'm going to set up and then we'll come back, do our mulligan and just get on with it. Right, here we are. So I've set up for the house always wins. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. It's something of a new setup, so let's have a quick look. What we have is, let's see, I might even be able to zoom in on the map. So we have Ashcan Pete. I can't work out whether or not it's really bad, the resolution there. If it is, I'm very sorry. Let me just cut into here. So hopefully you can see. I'm not 100% sure how in focus this is. It might be a challenge for you to see. But here is Ashcan Pete and his faithful hound Duke is here. I've started with my 5 supplies, and let's have a quick look at the setup. So here I be outside La Bella Luna, and then there are options inside. From there I can go to the Clover Club Lounge, In there is a pit boss, the Clover Club pit boss. In this mission, anybody with the criminal keyword is aloof, so they're not going to engage me unless something ropey happens. So we'll get to that when we get to it. And from there, I can go into the card room and into the bar. Not sure what's what yet. I've got my dog. I am going to first of all take my mulligan. So here be my deck. So that's not good. Not pro shuffling me. Okay, so look at that, skills. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what we've got first. We have got Rise to the Occasion, Emergency Cash, a Test of Will, Perception, Holy Rosary, and Overpower. So what we're going to bin off. I think I am going to mulligan. I really need to get my weapon out and some armor if possible. So, and I'd like Jury Rig. So I'm going to mulligan, Rise to the Occasion. I'm keeping the cash. Test of Will, I'll keep that. Perception, no, let's get rid of that. I'm going to keep my Holy Rosary. I'm going to get rid of that. That leaves me only with 3 cards though. I think I'm going to get rid of that as well. I'm going bold. So I switch those and I get Clarity of Mind, Bandages, and First Aid. This is not at all what I wanted to start. But that's that. So I am going to take those and stick them in here. I've also got the 2 weaknesses. One of them is his home one, and one of them is the random one that I've drawn. I don't know what they are. Well, I think his is called Racked with Nightmares, I think. But I've intentionally avoided reading the text because I want it to be as much a surprise as possible. And I blindly picked the other one, so I don't know what that is. So there you go. That's that. And that's my hand. I'm not overly impressed with that, if I'm awfully honest. So I get 3 actions. So what I've got is Bandages, which I can play and then I can heal damage. That's really for Duke. Clarity of Mind is to heal horror. That's pretty good. That's a spell. Holy Rosary is... I get plus... Well, that's pretty good. I get +1 to my head, whatever the head one is. The first one. It's not knowledge, it's the other one. Willpower. That's pretty good, yeah. Oh, sorry about the bing. Right, so my actions, I am going to play the emergency cash, just because, why not? To give me 3 resources. I am going to play the Holy Rosary. That is an accessory, so that's going to cost me 2. Which is quite good, because that basically means that I have +1 to my willpower. So I'm now willpower 5, which seems pretty cool. So that's 2 actions, and... Now, do I want First Aid, Bandage? I've got First Aid, Bandages, and Clarity of Mind, all pretty much. I'm basically prepping myself before I go into this building. I've not even read the starters. Maybe I should do that before I pick. So here we go. So this is my little thing. I'm going to be putting my doom here and my clues here. Let's just start off. So the Clover Club. You have entered the Clover Club Casino in search of Dr. Morgan. Well, technically I'm outside, but you know. The club is bustling at this late hour, filled with patrons looking to relax and drink, or make it big. You don't appear to be in much danger. So each criminal enemy gains aloof. So that's why the pit boss isn't going to engage me when I go in there. So, forced. If an investigator deals damage to a criminal enemy, immediately advance. So I'm going to go to the next stage of the agenda. It's going to cost, once we get to 4 doom, we're going to advance. So, Act 1, beginner's luck. I need to find Dr. Morgan. The club is packed. Perhaps somebody knows where he is. So, when I reveal a chaos token, I may treat that token as if it were any other token in the bag. If I do, remember I have cheated. I can do that once per round. Objective. When I have collected the requisite number of clues, I must immediately spend them and advance. So it's going to cost me 4 clues. I should really, the Bella Luna, I jumped ahead once I did my mulligan. So here we go. So we are in Arkham at the Bella Luna. So I can resign. That means I can basically hightail it out of there if I'm on that space. The music is cliche and they only serve spaghetti. As far as covers for underground speakeasies go, it's not particularly creative. So it's got a shroud value of 2 and there's 1 clue there. So let's pop a clue out. Just so I know. Well, that's not a clue. I believe that's a clue. Okay, so rather than pop one of these out, maybe I'll keep those in my hand and I will do some investigating then instead. Try and get this clue. So I've played my emergency cash. So I think what I'm going to do is, let me show you this. I'm going to exhaust Duke. So for an action, I can exhaust Duke to investigate, and I investigate with a base skill of 4. So the shroud value is 2. I'm not going to use anything else in there, so let's go back to there. So I've got my little bag here. It's a 0. So my base is 4, so that's a pass, which means I get that clue. So my clues go there. So that's 1 clue. Basically, I need to stick them on there. I can spend them to advance once that gets to 4. So that's good. That's my 3 actions. So then we go to the enemy phase. There aren't any enemies. Well, there is, but he's just doing his own thing at the minute. Upkeep. I reset, so that would have exhausted Duke. So at the moment I reset him. I am going to, that's readying him, he's exhausted. I draw 1 card and I gain 1 resource. So there's a resource. And I'll take a card out of my deck. And I am getting, oh, it's treachery already. So, ooh, can we do that? Oh, yeah, that's not, I thought that was glare, but it's not maybe. So, what it says is, panic. Revelation, put panic into play in my threat area. Panic can be healed as if it were a single point of horror. If it's healed, discard it. After I take a play, engage, or resource action, I can't take any of those types of actions for the remainder of the turn. So at the moment I'm panicking. I've gone to this speakeasy. I'm outside. Started preparing myself. Got the rosary beads on. I've investigated. The dog sniffed out a clue. I'd found my emergency stash on my way there, but now I'm just having a little bit of a worry. So let's see how we end up. So we've done that. We've got our resource. Check hand size and discard down to 8. So I've only got 3. There we go. That's not the best turn. I mean, I'm okay, but and I'm feeling strong of willpower despite my panic attack. We then go to the mythos phase. So we place one doom on there. We advance it if its threshold is reached. It's not. Each investigator draws a card from the top of the encounter deck. So here we go. What have we got? Ooh, we have a swarm of rats. Oh, so a horde of rats skitter forth in an undulating wave of claws, teeth, and mottled fur. So that's going to come and engage me as well. So not only am I panicked, but there's a load of rats out there outside the speakeasy. It's not that pleasant a place, if we're honest. Okay. So it doesn't attack me this turn, it just comes to engage me. But in the next enemy phase, that's when it'll do it. So now then, we go to the investigator. So we get our 3 actions. So I think we're going to have to deal with these rats, and we're going to have to deal with panic. So first things first, I am going to use Duke to attack the rats. So Duke's got an attack value of 4, and the rats have got a 1, basically. So hopefully, it's the -3. If you succeed, gain 3 resources. So we do, because Duke's a 4. So that's nice. Yeah, that was pretty good. So that's one action. For my second action, I'll play Clarity of Mind. That costs 2. I'm not able to make another play now because of panic, and that gets 3 charges. So he's set good old Duke on the rats. He squished them, and then he's taken a moment to gather his thoughts, and with his clarity of mind, he is going to spend one of the charges to heal horror, which will get rid of panic. I think that's everything. So he's got 2 more charges left on that. Duke's exhausted, but that's all 3 actions. I've still not even gone in the bloody building. And then enemy phase, well, we've got rid of the rats. So then we're going to go to reset. So we're going to ready our exhausted card. We're going to take a resource. And we're going to take a card. And we get overpower. So basically I can commit that to a test. It's good for the fight if I really need a fight. I'm not 100% sure if that stacks with Duke. I'm going to pretend it does. Don't know if it does. If I'm getting it wrong, please do tell me if you know. That'd be nice. But at the moment, I mean, I'm sitting on 9 resources, which seems really good. I check my hand size, discard down to 8, and then we're going to mythos. So it's another bit of doom. I've not even gone in yet. Yeah, draw a card. Ooh. So it's a mobster. Look at this. So he's a criminal. So he's not going to attack me, because he's got aloof. But he is out here in my space, and what it's basically saying, I don't think he's going to engage me. I think that's what it says. If they're aloof, I'll double check it in a second. But basically, what he's saying is that you better scram, pal, unless you're hungry for boot leather and lead. So he's just like stood outside. He's seen me lurking about with my dog, and he's like, "You don't look right." So he's not going to fight me. He's not going to attack me. But if he does attack me, this mobster, I'm going to lose a resource, which is interesting. But what I'll do I will just double check. Of course, I am new to this game, so apologies if you expected something a little bit more smooth. So aloof. Aloof is a keyword ability. An enemy with aloof does not automatically engage. So when he spawns unengaged. I can use the engage action or a card ability to engage him. An investigator cannot attack an aloof enemy while it's not engaged. So he's just going to stand there. He's not got any kind of hunter thing. So I think he's just going to lurk around outside. So I'm happy with that. So we've drawn that. And then we go to investigation again. I think we're going to have to go in. Otherwise this is going to progress without us doing anything. So I will move into here. So the Clover Club Lounge. A Shroud of 2. Oh, 0 clues. While it's Act 1, the Clover Club Lounge gains, for an action I can discard an ally from my hand to gain 2 clues. Oh, that's pretty good. But I don't have any allies because I've only got Duke, because I didn't realise you could take an ally and Duke. So that's not really going to help me. This pit boss, he says, oh, so he has prey. He goes towards the person with the highest knowledge. But at the moment he's not engaged. He is a hunter. Forced. After an investigator at the Clover Club pit boss's location gains any number of clues, he readies, engages, and attacks. Oh, so maybe I don't want to be... I don't know if that means he's going to follow me. I don't think he is, if he's not engaged. But he does have hunter, so maybe he will. Let's see what hunter means. During the enemy phase, each ready unengaged enemy with the hunter keyword moves to a connecting location towards the nearest investigator. Okay, if there are multiple equidistant ones who qualifies as the nearest, the one who meets the prey instructions they go to. But there's only one, so it's always going to come towards me. So he's going to follow me. Right, so maybe he would have moved outside in the last turn. Oh well. Doesn't really matter. Gotcha. So we know now. So he's going to follow me around this pit boss guy. Okay, so I moved in. That's one action. I think I'm going to go to the bar. Because why wouldn't you go to the bar? So the shelves behind the bar sag beneath the weight of all manner of bootleg drinks, cheap ales, moonshine, expensive bottles of wine, aged whiskey. If only you had a couple of hours to kill. So it's got a Shroud of 3. Oh, and 0 clues again. So while in Act 1, you can spend 2 resources to gain 2 clues and draw 2 cards. What? But then I have to remember that I have had a drink, and I can do it once per game. Okay, that might work. So I'm going in there. That's 2 actions, and then I think I'll have a drink then. So I'll spend my 2 before he follows me in, the pit boss. So I spend 2. I gain 2 clues and 2 cards. That sounds good. So that's me up to 3. I only need 1 more. And 2 cards. Ooh. Oh, what? Racked by nightmares. Weakness. I have to exhaust all assets I control and put racked by nightmares into play in my threat area. I cannot ready assets I control. For a double action, I can discard it. Oh, but this is my final thing. So Duke's... I'm getting all stressed, and Duke's like, what's going on? And I get guts. So that's a bit more willpower for me, as if I need it. And that's me done. But I did get 2 clues, so maybe I just need to get to the card room and I can get another one. Sorry about the bings. I'll work out how to turn that off one day. Right, so we go to enemies. Enemies with the hunter move. So he's coming, following me. He comes across to the Clover Club bar. Then there's nobody engaged. Upkeep. We reset. Ready exhausted cards, but I can't do that because of racked by nightmares. I'm getting stressed. I'm a troubled soul, aren't I? I draw a card and gain a resource. So I can do that. Another resource. Oh, I don't think I got. Oh no, I didn't need to get. So I get a resource and I get another card. Oh, jewelry rig. It's my upgrade, so I can attach to an item. That's an item. This was from a sledgehammer, but I can put it on my rosary beads, and it gives me plus. We're making a skill test using the attached, so if I make a brain one, I get +2 skill value. So I'm already 4. I could make some modifications to the rosary beads so that I get an extra 2 to my willpower test, stuff like that. But we'll see. So that's me drawing my card. Mythos phase. Crikey. We've got another one of those. We're getting close. Next turn we're going to advance it. I don't like that. And then I'm going to have to go in a minute. We're going to have to pause proceedings, but first, treachery card, hunted down. Revelation. If there are no unengaged criminal enemies in play, it gains surge. But there is one or more unengaged criminal enemy. That is the pit boss. Each of them moves one location towards me. Each criminal enemy that engages you as a result makes an immediate attack, but that doesn't happen because we're still in the one where they've got aloof, so he's not going to engage me. So that's a pretty good one to get, I think. 3 actions. I'm going to have to spend 2 to get rid of that. This has really slowed me down. And then I'm going to have to move that way. I've not even gone into the card room yet. And that's my go. So he moves towards me. He's following me. He's like a bad smell. Then I actually get Duke back. He's not quite so stressed. I've been acting strange, but I've pulled myself together again. I draw 1 card and gain a resource. I'm going to take resources first, so I remember. There's a resource and a card. And I get, my smoking pipe. 3 uses. This is another one to heal horror, but this one gives me damage while I'm doing it, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to start thinking about playing them soon. Okay, and then we go to the Mythos stage. So we add our thing. It goes to 4, so it advances. Your questioning has drawn attention of several men, hired thugs by the looks of them. Francis doesn't want to be bothered, one of them says. We suggest you leave the premises before we force you to leave. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. If the players have already completed... Oh no. If the house always wins is the first scenario in the campaign, advance to 2A. Okay, this is the first one in the campaign. So, 2A. Underground muscle. Oh, and I have to shuffle that back into there. Most of the other patrons seem oblivious to the mobsters and goons closing in around you, but you recognize this for what it really is. You're about to get roughed up. Oh, so It's not looking good. So this one has got a doom threshold of 3. So I've got 3 turns before things are going to get a bit nasty, I think. Right. So we've done that. We have... I now have to draw a card. Arousing suspicions. Revelation, place 1 doom on each criminal enemy at my location. I think he has followed me, hasn't he? Because it's the bad smell. Bugger. Okay. So that's 1 already, so it's 2 turns. Oh, crikey. I hope I can find something in this card room. Right, so I'm going to have to move. Maybe I should just set the dog on him. I could send Duke back through, and that'd get rid of that doom if it defeated him. He has got like 3. He's got 4 health though. Doom. I can't do that. Okay. So I've moved through the card room. As you approach the card room, the clinking of poker chips and the shuffling of cards is punctuated by shouts of revelry and frustration. Your thoughts are nearly drowned out by the racket. This one's got a different icon on it. While it is Act 1, Clover Club card room gains. Spend 2 resources to reveal a random chaos token. If it's the star symbol, the eldritch sign, gain 2 clues and 2 resources. If it's an even number, gain 2 clues. If it's an odd number or one of the other symbols, nothing happens. Okay. So I've moved into there. I think I'm going to have to do it, aren't I? For an action. So I'm gambling. I spend 2 resources. I go in here. I'm at the tables. It's a -1. What did it say that was? Oh, I get 2 clues for if it's an odd number, nothing happens. However, I can cheat, it said, didn't it? Sure, it said somewhere. Oh yeah, when I reveal a chaos token, I may treat it as though it was a different token in the bag. If I do, remember I've cheated. Clearly going to cheat. So, I'm cheating. I'm saying it's that star, so I get 2 clues and 2 resources. Oh, that's me having a pause. So 2 clues. Right then, we'll be back to reveal what it says. Woohoo. Okay, hopefully this is working. There's been a short pause. So we're back, and as I remember it, I have just spent my 4 clues. Hopefully the lighting's okay. I've turned off the computer and brought it back on. Let me know if it could be sorted out better. Yeah, I'm new to all this. Right, so we have spent our 4 clues. Ka-chow. So after speaking to a number of gamblers and servers, it seems as though Dr. Morgan has had quite the run lately. Instead of cashing out his winnings, he was convinced to double down. He was last seen entering the guarded hall near the back of the card room. Put the set-aside darkened hall into play. If it is Agenda 1, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a criminal enemy is discarded and spawn it in the darkened hall. So, no, it's not 1 anymore. It's Agenda 2A, so we don't have to do that. Okay, so the darkened hall. Let's do it. We've done that, and then we reveal the new act, Act 2A. 2A? That sounds right, doesn't it? Dr. Morgan is somewhere in the private section of the club where only VIPs and the club managers are allowed. If you are to find him, you're going to have to sneak or even fight your way in. Objective: only investigators in the VIP area may spend the requisite number of clues to advance. So it's going to cost me 2, and I've got to find the VIP area. So I'm assuming that's off here. It says, oh, I put it down the wrong way around. So it says at the moment, a heavy oak door stands in a secluded corner of the club. As you approach it, the air grows heavy and the clamour of the card room fades behind you. I'll put it there. Right. So I don't remember if I had any actions left. So let me try and remember what I did. And I think all I've done is move across and then cheat. If I did an extra one, I'm really sorry, but I'm just gonna have a second action. So I'm gonna move into this hallway. So the darkened hall, shroud of 4, 0 clues. When the darkened hall is revealed, put into play the 3 set aside back hall doorway locations. Okay. The door slams shut behind you and you stand in sudden silence. This area of the club is lonesome and devoid of warmth and colour. Somehow the spotless floor and walls seem more sinister than inviting. So there's the darkened hall. That comes off the back of the card room. That's where I be. And then I have to get these 3 back hall doorways. Right, there we go. That's the end of my go. So enemies with the hunter keyword move. So this clown's moving to there. Draw a card, gain a resource. I've got so much resources. And draw a card. Oh, it's my sledgehammer. I found it in the back hallway. This is what we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I should still have the jury rig as well. Oh, I'm so going to get that out in a second. Right. It's getting me quite excited. We go to the mythos phase. So we get a doom. So that's the second because there is one in play on the pit boss. So there's only one more turn before it's going to advance. And then, yeah, here it comes. Oh, I'll help if it's that way. Hunted down. If there are no unengaged criminal enemies in play, it gains a surge. Right, there is one in play. If there are 1 or more unengaged criminal enemies in play, each of them moves 1 location towards you. Each criminal enemy that engages you as a result makes an immediate attack. Alright, so he's not got the thingy anymore. Yeah, he's not got aloof anymore, so yeah, he's going to come and fight me. That's a bit of a bugger. So he hunts me down, so he's going to move. And then he's going to fight me. That's pretty painful. So he does 3 damage. I'm going to take it there. I'm not putting any on my puppy. How many do I have? I've got 6, so 3 more. Oh, that was a bit of a slap. Okay. I don't like that. Right, investigator phase. Oh, I think if I want to get my sledgehammer out, he's gonna be able to do bad things to me. Okay. Let's see what I can do here. Right. I think we're just gonna have to spend some stuff. So I'm gonna, for my first action, I'm going to use my loyal hound to attack. Now he attacks with 4, but this guy has got a combat of 3. So I'm going to commit overpower to that as well, which gives me an extra 2, which gives me 5. I think that's all I can really do. So 5. I don't like this. Oh, -2, but that puts me to 3. So that's okay. I'm playing at standard difficulty here. So that puts me to 3. His combat is 3, so he's going to take a damage, but it does +1 damage, so he's going to take 2 damage from that. He's got 4 health though. So that's 1 action. Okay, so I have a free thing on my card where I can discard a card from my hand to ready an asset I control. So I'm going to use my smoking pipe. I'm going to discard that, and I'm going to ready Duke. Then for my second action, I am going to attack him again, and I'm going to have to commit. This really pains me, but I'm going to have to commit my sledgehammer and jury rig, which is another +2 to it. I really wanted to get them out and use them, but I'm not confident of winning this battle without, so I'm currently at 6 again. It's a skull. -2. So that's okay. Or I can spend 2 resources to treat it as 0, but it doesn't matter because -2 in this scenario, -2 would put him down to 4, which still beats him. So that does 2. So yeah, he does 2 damage, that's what that means, not 3 damage. So that's a little better. I've only taken 2 damage. He's taken all of his, but he's worth an experience point. Don't know if you can see this. So what I was looking at was that. So that's the damage that he deals. He doesn't do any horror damage. He's worth 1 victory point, which means that I'll have experience to spend if I survive for the next one. So that's my second action, and then for my third action, I think I'm going to have to. Well, that's good though, because that doom came off, so that gives me an extra turn to actually do things. I think I'm going to spend 2 to put my first aid kit, which has 3 supplies, so it has 3 goes. I'll put those on it. Right, but I've got very little left. Can't believe I had to spend the sledgehammer to beat that guy, but he was scary. Not quite as scary as I thought. He only did 2 damage. But there's my 3 actions. I didn't even get to go and investigate, but I got an extra turn. So that's good. There's no enemies with hunter keyword. There's only 1 enemy, and he's sort of like just kicking about out front, the mobster. So we reset. He is unexhausted. We draw a card and a resource, so another resource. Rise to the occasion. I can commit this to a skill test if the difficulty is 2 higher than my skill value. So that's not great. I was a bit wary of this, but we'll see. It might come in handy. It might be clutch. So that's that. Then we go to the mythos phase. So we are going to get a doom, and we're going to draw a card. Oh, it's arousing suspicions again. So let's see if we can see that. Revelation, place 1 doom on each criminal at my location. If no doom was placed by this effect, lose 2 resources. I can handle that. I think Ashcan Pete is he's awash with resources and cash. So that was quite a nice one. So we go to our next phase. Yeah, 3 actions. So I think I'm gonna spend 1 to heal a damage. I don't like the idea of not having full health. Then I'm gonna go into doorway number 1. I'm gonna move there. It says you approach an unmarked door towards the back of the Clover Club. Oh, right, so it's a back alley. I won't show you what it says. I'll read it out. So basically it's another way out. Resign, we can get out this way. Now it's got a shroud of 1 and there's a clue on there. That's good. There's a clue out back. A steep, narrow staircase ascends to a second unmarked door. To your surprise, it leads to a back alley behind La Bella Luna. This must be where they smuggle in their goods. Okay, so I've healed, I've moved, and now I'm going to hunt for clues. I'm going to get Duke to do it because he's better than me. A 4. And I need a 1 or higher. It's -2, which means that I succeed. So we get that. So now we've got our 2 clues, but we need to find the VIP area to spend them. That's my actions. So there's no enemies. We pop that back to there. We take a resource and we take a card. I need a good one. Oops. Oh, I'm out of here. I liked this one. So this is how I imagine my characters to play. So things are getting a bit rough. He bails. So it costs nothing. So if there's a scenario card with a resign ability in play, you can do that. So I can do it from anywhere. So I don't have to get to the back door or the front door. If I find myself in a precarious position, I'm off. Bail. Okay, so we can deal with that. Check my hand size. Yeah, I've only got 4. Mythos phase. Okay, so here it goes. So that happens. It progresses. This is exciting. You hear a crash from somewhere outside and screams of pain in the lounge. A terrible monstrosity smashes through the entrance to the club, crushing the stairwell and knocking over gangsters and patrons alike. Spawn a random enemy from the set-aside Hideous Abominations encounter set in the Club Lounge. Shuffle the rest of that encounter deck, the set-aside Striking Fear encounter deck, and the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Move all investigators and unengaged enemies from La Bella Luna to the Clover Club Lounge. Right, and remove La Bella Luna from the game. So that goes. I'm not on La Bella Luna, so I don't have to go to the lounge. That's away. I get a random beastie. So one of these is going into the Clover Club Lounge. That's going to go into there. It's a servant of the lurker. Come on, let's get you zoomed in here. A servant of the lurker. He's a monster and an abomination, and he's going to go to his prey is the slowest speed. It's always me. He is a hunter. So when it attacks me, I have to discard the top 2 cards of my deck. The servant of the lurker. So he's got a combat of 4, a health of 5. Oof, I don't really want to be fighting that fella. But he's going to start coming for me very soon. Right, now I have to shuffle this encounter deck back together. Act 3A. Chaos in the Clover Club. Amidst the chaos and confusion, the strange abomination attacks everyone in the club. Screams echo through the halls as the blood begins to spray. At the start of any phase, discard each criminal enemy in the same location as the abomination. Okay, so he's going to eat everyone, basically. It's got a doom of 7 before... Yeah, so I've got 7 to get through this. I'm only on 2A. There's a lot of cards in that deck, so... I'm sorry, I've got you looking at the wrong thing. There you go. So yeah, Chaos in the Clover Club. I've read it. They're made. So we've got Chaos in the Clover Club. I've got to find this VIP area basically before I get eaten. I defeated somebody. I'm going to fill in my little book. Got to fill in my journal. So we did that. We advanced the deck. And now I have to take one of these cards. So, Treachery, Twist of Fate. Reveal a random token from the bag. It's a skull. Doesn't sound good. If you reveal a skull, including other things, take 2 horror. Nice. 2 horror. I don't like that. So I'm going to actually put the horror. I'm going to put 1 on my rosary, and I'm going to put 1 on Duke, just so that it's not on me. Okay, Investigator. This thing terrifies me. So I need to go... I have to go back to the hall, do I? Yeah, so I have to go 1, 2. I approach an unmarked door towards the back of the club. It's the VIP area. Happy days. So, a shroud of 3 and clues of 1. While you're at the VIP area, you cannot draw cards or gain resources during the upkeep phase. The coppery smell of blood assaults your senses. The floor is littered with broken glass, and the upholstery has been torn to shreds. Okay, so it's got one of those. Oh, I'll get a victory point from that as well. That's nice. If I find that clue, I get one from here, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, where is Dr. Morgan? But I can spend my clues, and I need to spend 2, so I've got it, and I don't think this is an action. Okay, so there's 2 options there. One based on if I've done the other mission. So I haven't done the other mission. You find Dr. Morgan gambling in one of the VIP rooms, but he appears to be playing cards with 2 unconscious bodies. His pupils dilated as though in a trance. He can't seem to stop laughing, smiling and chatting with the other players. Put the set aside Dr. Morgan into play in the VIP area. Advance to Act 3A, all in. Okay. Dr. Morgan, Professor of Archaeology, is in the VIP area. He's an ally. Costs 3 to play. You get +1 fight. And when you defeat an enemy, you can exhaust him to draw a card. That sounds alright. And he's got 4 health. Oh, it's always good having an archaeologist on your side. Anyway, Act 3A, all in. With or without Dr. Morgan, you have to get out of here fast. While Dr. Morgan is not controlled by a player, he gains parley. So for an action, I can speak to him. I can test my willpower at 3 to shake him out of his daze. If I succeed, place 1 clue from the token bank on him. If there are because there's only 1 investigator, if there's a clue on him, I take control of him. If each undefeated investigator is resigned, we advance. Okay, so I need to basically resign. So I think I'll get him though. I've still got an action left. I moved in. I moved to there, spent my clues for free. So now I'm going to take my will check. I get +1 will from this, which puts me on a willpower of 5. What's the difficulty? Difficulty 3. I'm going to use guts to make me a 7. Surely that's enough. Come on, Dr. Morgan. Oh, a cowled figure, -3. So 7, that still takes me to 4. It's a good job I spent guts. If I succeed, gain 3 resources as well. So I do succeed, so I get 3 resources. I think all that's going to be useless. And then I take control of him, so he becomes an ally. So I can't draw cards or gain resources, so I don't get any during the upkeep phase. So we go straight to the enemy. Oh no, it's the enemy phase first anyway. So the hunter moves towards the nearest investigator. That's this guy, the servant of the lurker. He's on his way, but it's okay. I'm getting out of there before he finds out, because I've got I don't have to go 1. Well, I could go 1 to resign, or I can play my card. I might as well. So he goes there. Let's see what this is first, though, because I don't get any of my new card or resource. It's a swarm of rats. A horde of cruel rats skitters forth in an undulating wave of claws, teeth, and mottled fur. So that comes into engagement with me. And it doesn't fight or anything. That's good. So, oh yeah, we got a doom. Oh, I've easy done this. I don't know if it's just because I'm playing solo that it's made it easier. Maybe I've missed something. Sorry if I have. So, goes to me. Ashcan Pete. I'll get Duke to attack. I've got nothing I can commit to that. -2. It still beats them. So he defeats those. Then I'm going to discard my rise to the occasion. To ready Duke. Then I'm going to get Duke to search there. And he's got a 4. It's a 3 and he's only got 4. It's a skull, which is -2, so he fails. And then I'm just going to resign for an action. So I jump out of the window and I progress it. My objective: if each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance. You escape the club, doing your best to look inconspicuous as several cars pull up near the street. A handful of grim-faced men and women exit, running towards the restaurant's entrance to take control of the situation. One of them catches your eye, his hand on the grip of his .38, but thankfully he turns his attention back to the rest of his crew and follows them into the club. You breathe a sigh of relief. If an investigator resigned with Dr. Francis Morgan under his control, I go to Resolution 2. What in the world? Dr. Morgan finally breaks out of his daze as you make your way to safety. You ask him what he remembers, and he sputters and shakes his head. It's all a haze, he explains, visibly exhausted. I was having the run of my life. Perhaps I had one too many shots, but those creatures, I haven't seen anything like that since... He trails off, and you can tell his mind is racing. His eyes widen with realization and his face pales. I may not be in the best shape, but I'll help with your investigation, whatever it takes. In my campaign log, I record that the O'Banion gang has a bone to pick with the investigators. In my campaign log, record the investigators rescued Dr. Francis Morgan. Any one investigator may choose to add Dr. Francis Morgan to his or her deck. Yeah, it doesn't count towards the deck size, that's good. If any player cheated, add 1 chaos token to the bag for the remainder of the campaign. Ooh. Ooh. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory value of each card in display. Victory display. And then we get to go to scenario 1A, extracurricular activity. So yeah, now we do the extracurricular. I have to put an extra chaos token in the bag. That's harsh. So I get experience wise, I didn't get that last one, but I did get 1, 2. So I get 2. Get 1 from the pit boss and 1 from the back alley. And that's it. Right. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to fill in my campaign log, and I'm going to have a look and see if I want to spend my 2 experience on something before we go to extracurricular activity.